Today we are going to gather here to talk about the wonderful and satisfying downfall of David Goggins. Finally, the downfall of David Goggins. There is a famous coach by the name of Nick Saban. I like Nick Saban a lot, not because of his coaching abilities, but because of the way he was always able to describe the things that he did through the terms of philosophy. He had a philosophy for almost everything that he did. And he was able to get his point across through that philosophy to the press whenever he would have conversations with them. And one of my favorite ones, which I'm sure has been played here on YouTube and the rest of social media many times, long before I ever came around, is when he talks about how mediocre people do not like high achievers and high achievers do not like mediocre people. We don't get along, right? We not only do we think different, but we operate differently on a day-to-day basis. The average individual, which is the mediocre person living a mediocre life, quote unquote, by high achieving standards, that's a mediocre life. But they just want to do either the least possible that they can do or the bare minimum to meet all of their responsibilities that they have to do. So we're talking about people that either do not have a job and do not want a job at all, or we're talking about people that just want to work their 9-to-5 life, make sure that they have all of their responsibilities taken care of with a little room for some creature comforts. You know, got to have that 6-pack or a couple beers after work every day, go to the movies, live for the weekends and live for your time off. Whereas high achievers on the other end, on the other side, they are the opposite. They are like, nope, I want more stress. I want more work. I want more because I'm willing to incur the consequences, or at least possible consequences, for having more stress and more work in my life so that I can also attain the higher levels of rewards. Now, those people do not operate the same. They do not see life the same. Those individuals on the mediocre side would be like, there's no reason to do that much fill in the blank for whatever purpose, right? So if you go online and you find somebody, you could just look somebody up right now. You look somebody up who's not a bodybuilder, who's not a power lifter, who's not going into any competitions whatsoever, and they're lifting an extraordinary amount of weight. And they are pushing through it. And you know, they're at the limits of their personal human capacity at that moment. You go into the comment section and you're gonna have people that are like, there's no reason to live that much weight. Why are you doing that? Your back isn't straight, you're this, you're that, all by people who cannot do the same thing or come close to even matching it or more. Because mediocre people do not like to see high achievers achieve things higher than what is the bare minimum that's necessary. So I love that one because it clearly indicates a lot of the stuff that we see here on social media. Guys, I say this a lot. You're going to hear me say it a lot more because I believe it needs to be said enough times to where people learn and understand that it is the truth. Social media is a land of lies and hate. That is what social media is. So the crazy part about the relationship between mediocre people and high achievers is that we actually rely on one another. This is the truth. We are dependent on one another. Mediocre people are dependent upon high achievers for giving them the ability to enjoy all the creature comforts that they get. So whether it's just scrolling on TikTok, you need creators that are just creating shit all damn day and figuring out how to make better content for them to scroll, to go see movies, to give them better technology to operate with, to watch TV on, all this other stuff. They are reliant on the high achievers to make the music, make the movies, make the content that they love so that they can just sit back and enjoy it. Conversely, on the other side of that, when you're attempting to get your ball rolling, whether you're pushing out music, whether you're making content on YouTube, whether you're selling a comic book, it doesn't matter what it is. When you're initially trying to push that out to the world, you're going to gain a lot of resistance. The people that are successful in things, they won't really talk that bad about you. You'll learn that. If you put up a video of you struggling with a 185-pound squat, a 185-pound squat isn't even a warm-up to somebody who's really strong. It's not even a warm-up. But if you put a video up of you struggling to get a 185-pound PR for you, the people that are going to talk the shit is going to be the people that can't do it at all. It's going to be the people who aren't very strong at all. If they are stronger than you, they're not that strong by comparison to people that are actually strong. Because really strong people are going to remember that moment when they had to go through the same thing that you're going through. And they're going to be like, you did a pretty good job, or they're just not going to say anything at all. But they're going to recognize what kind of intensity was behind you hitting that PR. Now, mediocre people are going to come in a floodgate and they're going to let you know how everything that you're doing is wrong. They're going to make sure that you know that what you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't have posted it. You shouldn't have done this. So whenever you're trying to make something and push it out to the world, it's mediocre people that are going to come and push back at you the hardest. You suck. You should quit. You don't know what you're doing. Your opinion is wrong and it should be the same as my opinion. Or they want you to be exactly the same as them. For instance, I wear sunglasses indoors. Take off your sunglasses. Never bothering to ask or wonder, why does he wear sunglasses? Is it possible that there's a reason he has to wear the sunglasses? No, they just worried about making sure that other people are as mediocre as them. They want to drag you down. So they make it very difficult to get over that initial hump, which that initial hump is often years long, just so you guys understand. It can be a decade long. It's most likely going to be years long before you make it over that initial hump. That being said, most people don't like being early adopters, even though they say that they do. That's a lie. Now, once you start to gain momentum, and you have social proof behind it, that's when mediocre people are like, oh, if everybody else likes that, then I like it too. That is a good thing. I like it too. Now, at which point, if you proven that you're willing to push back against and push through it and over that initial pushback that you're getting, a couple years comes down the line and you show that you're willing to get it and you start getting good at everything. Because everybody sucks at everything when you first started. Mediocre people try to pretend like that's not the case, but that's because they don't ever really try anything. They're not really pushing for anything. So whenever you're trying to push something new out into the world, you're going to suck at it. It's not going to be the greatest. And those people are going to push back the hardest. But when you make it through, when you make it to the other side and you start getting people that latch onto you and like the thing that you're finally doing, even though it took you 5-10 years to get it done, to get that good, even 2 to 3 years, whatever. Now they start jumping on and they push you forward. You're going to need all these mediocre people that have to live vicariously through the heights that you reach because they know that they never will. So they enjoy living vicariously and being part of pushing you up into the stratosphere or whatever you're going to reach. They like actually being a part of that because they're never going to do it for themselves. They can't. They just want to live a mediocre life. If it's a little bit more, if it costs more than just spitting hate and vitriol through the comment section, then that's too much work. But when they're willing to help push you up into the stratosphere to reach the heights that you're going to reach, they're going to love being part of that. No, I take that back. They're going to like being part of that. They're really going to like being part of pushing you up and helping you find success. Then the thing that they really love is going to come. Eventually, at some point in time, no matter who you are, you're going to have a fall from grace. Everyone has something in their past. Everyone has something in their life because no one is perfect. But guess who likes to pretend that their lives are perfect? You got two people. You got influencers on the way outside of the scope of reality, and they're trying to pretend like their lives are perfect. They're not. Do not fall for that. Social media is a land of lies and hate. Those people are lying. But you're also going to have all these mediocre people that are going to run to your comment section and do everything that they can, make videos about you and do everything that they can to drag you down. Because while they like being part of somebody being pushed up to reach success, they love being part of dragging them down from the heights of their success. Nothing more satisfying than a person who's never done anything with their life than dragging somebody down who's doing something with their life so that they can feel the experience of being back at the bottom with them. This is the crazy cycle that I keep seeing over and over and over again. YouTube and social media in general is filled with this more than the rest of life. This shit is crazy. How much people are just looking for the negative aspects. They only want to comment on negative things. They only want to see negative things. They talk bad about how everything's negative, but all they do is spit negativity them damn selves. So, circling all the way back to Mr. David Goggins. We have two things going on at the same time. Sadia Khan being exposed. The crazy part about this is she's taking money from rich people. She's charging something to the effect of $8,000 for an hour for a phone call. $8,000 per hour for a phone call. She's not taking the money of poor people. She's not taking the money of any of these mediocre individuals at all. The only thing that she's taking from them is the stuff that they give up willingly because they have nothing better to do with it. That's their time and attention. So the only thing they get from her is like, oh, she's hot. And she didn't get to where she got just by being cute. She is an attractive woman. she does have an accent that would help people think that she's educated. Those are both facts. However, sometimes a lot of the stuff that she says is also pretty poignant. She does say things that even I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh no, that's pretty good. I do like that. That's pretty good. That's really good insight. She also says things, I've done a video about her before, where I'm not a fan of Sadia Khan because I don't like therapists in general. Therapists are people that as soon as they get letters behind their names, they think they know everything. So they stop listening to the people that are trying to tell them things. So because they already know everything. The more letters somebody has behind their names, the more I have found they listen the least amount than anybody else. So they learn less about the subject that they're trying to study. So I don't really care for Sadia Khan, basically on that thing. But she does say things that sound pretty good and are pretty poignant. And there's some things that she, if you applied them to your life, would actually probably make your life or your love life or your dating life even better. Plus, I also think that she proved her point. She said that high value men, which is a concept that I have a problem with in general anyways, that's a topic for another day, but she says that men of a certain level and a certain status can get women to cooperate and do whatever they want for them. She is proof positive of that. If she's charging $8,000 per call, she's not doing bad her damn self. I believe she's been living in Dubai for a long time and just raking in money from all these rich, poor, lonely bastards. So she's not doing bad for herself. She was also willing to be the side chick for some chick that was the side chick for a dude that's getting married and willing to give him head on his wedding day to the other woman. So she proved her point. More than anything else, that's my opinion. But for Mr. David Goggins, now this is a man who has helped most likely millions of people on this planet. He has inspired and helped most likely millions of people on this planet. More often than not, probably men. More men than women is more than likely true. But he has helped millions of people on this planet with the things that he has to say, with the things that he does, everything that he's shown for the content that he's put out, whether you agree with it or not, has helped a lot of people. But as soon as they had the ability to try to drag him down, they latched onto it and they were so happy. Oh, I never liked David Goggins anyways. And without ever finding out if any of it was actually true, immediately took to taking that man down as quick and as hard as they could. Now, it turns out that Mr. Goggins seems to have the receipts to prove that everything that girl, his daughter, was saying is most likely untrue. Now, if you go into, not only did everybody make videos about him for a hot, quick second until he started showing the receipts and then Sadia Khan's thing happened, not only was people making videos about him and talking about how they never liked him to begin with, but also people were in the comments section. Oh man, it doesn't matter what you accomplished if you couldn't be there for your daughter. Guaranteed, every single person that put those comments in there, you're not doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. There's no perfect person on this planet. I hate to break it to you. And if you're religious, then you know there was only one ever perfect person in this planet. And you're not him. So all of you people pretending to be so perfect when you're leaving your comments about how you don't think other people are good enough when you know you're not good enough. You don't think other people are doing something well when you're doing even less than they are. And you want to drag somebody else down who's achieved something that you never will when you're not doing the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing in your life. There's not one person who made a video about that man or who left a comment of negativity about that man who's living a perfect life in and of themselves. Now, the reason why this also ties into mediocre people and high achievers, this is the main reason why it ties in. What mediocre people don't seem to understand is, while they forgive their own flaws for not living the perfect life, because life is so hard when you're mediocre, when you're just living the average life, and life is more difficult. I don't have the money. That's the number one thing they say. I don't have the money to do it. They have all the money to be able to do that. Well, how they got that money is they're high achievers. They're willing to do more work. They're willing to go through more grind, and they're willing to have more stress in their life so that they can have those things. They don't have more time. They have less time because they're doing more work. Work-life balance on the mediocre side is I want more life, I want less work. Work-life balance on the high achiever side, I want more work and I'm willing to sacrifice more life. To achieve all of the things that these people, and I don't care who you can choose who you like. I don't care if you can, some of you like Donald Trump, some of you hate Donald Trump, some of you like Elon Musk, some of you hate Elon Musk, some of you like Bill Gates, some of you hate Bill Gates. It doesn't matter which side you choose can choose any person. David Goggins can be right in there with you. anybody who's on the high achieving end, anybody who's achieving high things, they have to sacrifice some of their life in order to make those things happen. Now, we're talking about, she tried to make it sound like it was time, attention, and money that she was not getting, and apparently he has proved that none of that is true. He wanted to give her time and attention and she wouldn't take it. He gave her money and she didn't think it was enough. The point is, if you're moving towards achieving high and great things, some things are going to get lost in the shuffle, and it's your life. Those people that are doing high achieving things, they're sacrificing some of their life. And yes, family life does get caught in there sometimes as well. And that is not always the greatest thing. But I promise you, for all of you that are sitting on the other side, drinking a beer every day after work, or just living for the weekends and coming home too tired that all you can do is watch TV, maybe mumble a couple of words at the dinner table, and then go to bed. You're not living the greatest life or the greatest example for your children either. Now, there are some men. There are some men living wonderful human examples of exactly what fatherhood is, and I take nothing from those men. That guy who, the video of him left straight from the coal mine, picked up his son and took him to that ball game, that's a man. That's a real man. I respect that man. I salute him. Man, every congratulation that I can give that man, he deserves it. That's a real man. Though most of you ain't doing that dumb shit. You ain't doing all that. You ain't doing none of that. You ain't even working in the coal mines. You damn sure aren't going to pick your son up dirty to take him to a game. You're going to come home from whatever your laborious job was that's not as laborious as that one, guaranteed. And then you're going to be like, well, I'm too tired too. Maybe on the weekend, but on the weekend, you're just going to drink some beers and you're going to flick through TV or TikTok or play some video games. All of you guys are worth nothing. Yet you hate on people that are achieving so much in life. You just want to drag them down. So while I said that we were going to talk about the wonderful and satisfying downfall of David Goggins, the truth is for all of you guys, my message is for very few people right now. For all of you guys that are trying to achieve something great. I don't care if it's creating content. I don't care if it's writing a book. I don't care if it's creating music, selling a comic book. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is that you want to do and you want to push out to this world, recognize that mediocre people, which outnumber all high achievers by a large margin, are going to push against you. Then they're going to help you, and then they're going to plot and they're going to plan your downfall. Just keep that in mind. Mediocre people do not like high achievers. That's why every last one of you just wants to drag somebody down. No, but none of you is doing anywhere near as much work in your life until it comes time to drag somebody else down. Then all of a sudden you got all the time and effort to put into something in the world. For every one of you that wants to build something, don't let anybody distract you from what you're trying to do. Don't let anybody tell you that you should be doing it differently. Don't let anybody tell you that your thoughts are wrong. Don't let anybody tell you that you should be looking or acting just like them. You do exactly what is right for you. Recognize that you are going to have to get these people on your team at a certain point. Recognize that they're also going to plan on your downfall, and they're going to revel in your downfall when it happens. Social media is a land of lies and hate. If you got to use social media to get yourself up to where you got to get, you go ahead and do that. But the moment you can diversify and put out an actual product of some kind, you do that immediately. You will have your core fans. They will stick with you. David Goggins' core fans did not turn their back on them. They at least waited to hear his side of the story. Everybody else, they ran to it because they wanted to feel somebody powerful die. And he's not even in politics or anything. Imagine when you get into politics. For every one of you out there that is trying to build something, man, this message is only for you. You do not let anybody else dictate how you do anything, because mediocre people do not like high achievers, and they will drag you down from the beginning to their level. They're like crabs in a bucket. They do not want you to succeed. Listen to yourself. Do what you know is right. Be you. Be authentic. And they're going to tell you, don't do this because I'm wearing sunglasses inside. Take off your sunglasses. They want me to be like them, even though I'm achieving more than most likely any of them ever will in their life. You do exactly what you feel is right for you. Do not listen to mediocre people under any circumstances. And that's all I got to say. I'm glad David Goggins made it through this. Unfortunately, there's probably another allegation right around the corner waiting for him. All the people, because he escaped this one, are probably putting in all kinds of work. And the truth is, like I said, man, everybody has something. Everybody has something about their life that they wish they wouldn't have done or they wouldn't have been involved in. That's just the way life goes. So this is for you guys, man. Just do whatever it is that you feel is right for you. Do not let mediocre people drag you down. Do not let mediocre people stop you from getting what you're trying to do in this life. And that's all I got to say. I'll see you guys on the next one.